Hey guys, welcome back. It's Grimreaper calling at you for another video for Raid Shadows. Today we're back on Pretty's account and we've got quite an interesting clan boss team to showcase the first time I built it. I'm actually really happy that I had the opportunity to build it because I've been looking to play around with this champion on my account. So yeah, overall it's a great clan boss team. I think it's quite fairly easy to build, to be honest. This account is a little bit stacked, but still fairly new account. I think it is 9 months old or something like that. But fairly new account, very stacked indeed. But it's still got a long way to go. So today's clan boss video is going to be on Emic Truckhart. I think I said that correctly. Uh, so we're going to do a unkillable with him, and it's just a new experiment and to kind of refresh everyone's memory that how easy this team is to build. Now, would I expect him more damage? Yes. Is it very easy to build? Yes. Didn't have many compilations or anything like that. I wasn't difficult to get the speeds or anything like that. It was just fairly easy to build. So for like building the team, speed tuning it and stuff, and as long as you follow the simple instructions, a very easy team to build, which is great for a lot of people that don't understand speed tuning or turn rotation. Can the preset be set up quite quickly? Yes. Did I set it up last night? Not really. But we'll go over that for this video, and it's very easy to kind of do, and then you'll leave it to do its thing over that. Also going to go through the run, and then we'll go through the gear and the rest of the champions to try and showcase the rest of the team. So let's get into today's video. I'm going to go into the clan boss run, and then we'll get into like the presets and the gear and stuff like that. So we'll see you in a second. So guys, there is the run for the clan boss team. It is a 1 key. I did make one change and I decided to just rebuild the team a little bit, bringing in Vizier for Septimus to get this 1 key damage. This is a massive change. Let me just move out of the way slightly here, but this is a massive change. So you've got Mishiati coming in with 18.6 million damage. Vizier coming in with 11.5, which is pretty respectful. A G-Nut coming in with 27.7 million damage, which is really, really crazy. Then we have Maneater on an 8.3 and Emic on a 6.8. So now there's a couple of changes that I can still make here. For example, I have two sets of blessings, which are the same. So we've got Gina on the same blessing as Emmerich Heart. Emmerich Heart's got no accuracy, so we could look at changing that into a better blessing. Maybe Phantom Touch, or I don't know really where to go with that. Maybe one that strengthens the aura. Let me down in the comments where you think would be the better blessings. And we also have the same blessings on Cruelty, with Mishkati and Manita. So again, that's something we can change. We do need to up the damage a bit more just to make this team a bit more consistent for his account and make it 1 key, but he will be 1 key Nightmare as well with this. So let's talk about the goods and the bads of this team. So first of all, before I get into the goods and bads about this team, is I would like to kind of just say with Manita or Emmerich High, I think these two champions would really be good in. So I think Manita should be coming in with Fury, which is farmed in Fire Knight. So when the HP drops, his damage will increase by the HP drop in. So Fury set would be a really good set on Manita just in the long term. And I think honestly with Vizier and Emmerich, if you put them both in Toxic set, his damage will shoot up to about roughly, I would say between 80 to maybe 85 million. And this is where the team gets a bit insane. I think Mishkati and Gina are just great in whatever they do. You can't really use Relentless. So it's really important to kind of remember that. With the Gina, I did need to change his preset a little bit. Just so he can get to use his big ability on A3 and then see Eric reset it and then go back in. So how I had it the other days, kind of had it the backwards, right? But now with Vizier coming in, given the defense down and the G-Nut, the weaken, like continuously, it's really cool to have that. And if like Mishkati, for example, is against Force right now and he weak hits, then it's worth pointing out we're going to keep that defense down. So I think Vizier was a really good change for the team. And I feel like this team will be very good on each affinity. Even G-Nut still smacks pretty hard, even on weak affinity. So that's something to kind of just mention, and how we get that damage up to the next level and get him on consistent 1 key. So the goods and the bads is this is full auto on Ultra Nightmare, but Nightmare there is a little bit of work. I will put Jedward's website down in below, but this is basically the change here since it's not full auto. Also, it's only a Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare team, and there is plenty of teams that do Brutal as well. However, I don't feel that this is a big problem, because I feel if he goes into Brutal, he's going to be able to 1-key quite easily with the champions he's got, with the gear he's got. So I'm not too worried about that, but this is generally what it is. As you can see, the speeds are not crazy, the DPS are good. And Jedward's actually using 3 allied attack champions, and I've decided to kind of go down a route with raw damage. So what my thinking was with this team is we've got Vizier that always brings the debuff. So if we like weak it on the defense down, he will just keep spreading it, right? And just keep extending it so the whole team is allowed to do the more damage. Mishkati brings you the defense down. G-Nut brings you the weaken. Mishkati also brings the HP burn and the hex, which will allow G-Nut to do a extra 10% damage on that big 8-3 smack. So that's something to kind of realize. Emmerich Heart as well coming into resets, really, really key, especially with big hard hitting abilities. And with Zivir, I just locked off his A2, his A3. I wasn't really worried about him trying to put any more debuffs up. I don't really want that. I just want him to keep extending and just keep smacking and then building for raw damage. He can do raw damage as well. It would be nice to get increased attack here, but it is what it is. I feel like this count can go other ways. Maybe go Demitha comp with a crazy speed tune. I don't know if it'll one key because the gear on this account is not amazing. But right now, what I have got is I'm using S tier champions for clan boss right now to get this one key. So that's something I'm kind of working on, and I think like it's a beautiful. Another downside is like Mishigati is amazing in Hydra, Gina is amazing in Hydra, Emic is also amazing in Twin Towers. So if you're not farming in their areas, I think that these champions could be used in other areas like that. Vizier is in his elements anyway with clan boss, and Manita can be used in some content, but his best place in the game right now is clan boss, so that is something to kind of remember and take into consideration. I think, however, it's a very, very strong clan boss team, very easy to build, nothing to kind of be too, nothing to really worry about. So when he does his Ultra Nightmare run, he's going to have to do a different setup and he's going to have to mangle it till he's turn 2. You know what? He doesn't need to run that key all the way through to like 18, 90 mil damage. He just needs to get the one key and then exit from that. So I don't think it's the biggest problems of them all. So Mishigati, I do start with the defense down. It is more important than the Hex, I believe. We just got the A1 and is given the 50% chance to try to extend them debuffs as much as possible. G-Nut coming in with a smack and then just letting him do what he wants with a weaken, really. Manita's A2 does hit really hard, and you do need that 1 turn delay so the team can work quite consistently. And Emic is probably the best one, so you want to open the A1, which will put the unkillable up. So for the first AoE, you know, you don't get no debuffs or anything. You just need to be able to swat the damage, so you don't need block buffs up for that. Manita comes in just slightly after him, put up the block buffs for Spirit when you got that AoE decrease speed, so you don't need to worry about that breaking the speed tune. You don't need to do any types of gear changing or any changes for that. He got that covered, and then also Manita covers the stun, so you don't need to worry about the cooldowns. A slow boy tank. This team is much better than budgeting killable for sure, and it's affinity friendly, so he hasn't go changing his champions around. Like I kind of feel these champions he's got, even with the weak affinity clan boss teams, the damage will generally just spread around, and other people's damage will come up, other people's damage will come down generally to that. So depend on what affinity, and I think he would be fairly okay. Like Mishigati's got some decent stats. Vizier's got some decent stats, and you know these can all be updated and changed and made to improve. So let's go and see the gear then, and let's see the gear requirements and masteries. So it might take me a little bit long to get around this account. There's a lot going on in this account, so we're gonna try and start with Emic. This is it, and most of these champions right now they're in broken sets, so it's kind of something to bear in mind. Right now we're not going to do the blessing because I need to play with the blessings, but you do need accuracy to land brimstone, and that's something I didn't build into this. To be honest, I think it was probably just better off changing the blessing. But we do have good critical damage with speed tuning, which is the most important, 100% critical rate, and then much HP as possible because his damage does come from HP. Does have a smack, but he's not crazy as well. These are the masteries here. So bear in mind, do not take Cycle of Violence, that can break your comp, and Cycle of Magic, especially on him and Manita. We do want Retribution on many people as possible, just so they can counterattack when the HP starts dropping all the way down. That's really important to have on G-Nut because he will heal himself with A3. So then we're going to go all the way down to Manita because he is in second of comp. These are his masteries. So his masteries are just fairly very basic, really. It's like the same as him. Nothing too crazy there, so I'm not going to go into that too much. And then again, broken sets, right? So we got a good attack. We're trying to get a good attack as much as possible. Speed tune him. We're not crit cap just yet, but we can get there in future. And then good critical damage. You can also take some Great Hall affinity bonuses as well. He needs to be fully booked, and I think he needs to be fully booked as well. So So after that, then we've got our G-Nut with, at the moment, to be honest, with Finite, I think Phantom Touch could be a better option for the Fahrenheit, but these are the masteries that it's got. Again, some key masteries. I don't know if I agree with all these masteries, but these masteries are already on. I just didn't want to use the free reset. Nothing in here was breaking the speed tune, so nothing too alarming, but then they could be slightly better in all fairness, but nothing really worries me on that, right? So yeah, like these are the stats that we want, and kind of can't use Relentless. You could probably use Savage in all fairness if you can get the build. I think that would be really, really cool. And that'll probably just up your damage a little bit. And if you could still use them in other content, its problem is speed, right? So if you get them in defense boots, if you're more in gaming than this account, if you can get defense boots, you can make 173 or 178 very easily. Like you don't need to worry about that, especially if you also take Demon Lord in the affinity area, like in the arena fit bonuses. So that could generally help as well. To be honest, I think Mishiati has got great synergy with this. So, you know, these are his stats. I do want him to go before everyone else because he has defense down, and that allows us to do more damage. You also put the hex up as well. So really basic gear here as well. Same kind of masteries for other content like Hydra and stuff like that. Again, support tree. I don't know if I really like completely agree with all this because, for example, like I think Cycle of Violence is better than Cycle of Magic, right? And it's on the same level, but these is just me being picky and stuff like that. So we also have him, and then we're gonna go into Vizier. So these are his masteries. Again, nothing too crazy. It is what it is. And then we've got his Phantom Touch, which is generally what I believe will help him do more damage. And then just accuracy and stuff like that. So getting critical damage gloves, his critical damage can be improved over time. So this is something to kind of realize. He does need accuracy for that A1, so just bear that in mind. And I did want him last in the comp. If he goes before G-Nut, for example, and there's no weaken, it's kind of a waste. So just take that into consideration. So there you are, guys. There is a one key team. Before I was on this account, he was doing roughly about 48 million a key. I've come in and I've improved him by at least 30 million. So hopefully he enjoys this one key. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Just really help to support my channel and for me to carry on bringing you content like this to be really helpful and try and bring you education content that is going to help you on a daily basis of raid. And hopefully you guys really enjoy my content. It's something for me, it's a big passion, and I want to try and help many people as possible. So hit that subscribe button. Anyway, guys, I'll see you on the next video. I've been Grim Reaper. See you on the next video. Peace.